The most incredible ending to that game. Just tell me about it.
Yeah, crazy ending. I actually thought we played pretty well in the game. To go in 1-0 down at half-time, I thought wasn't deserved. I think their goal was a great strike. But yeah, at half-time we just said just keep playing, try and keep them in their half and take our chances when they come. But I think we did struggle maybe with that final ball. I thought they defended well, but yeah, when the manager put us on, he said try and make a difference, get yourself in that pocket. When the ball goes wide, get yourself in the box. And that's what I tried to do for both goals, and the deliveries in were great and just managed to get on the end of both.
Absolutely, you did get into those right places. Tell me a little bit more about it, because 1-0 down with 90 minutes gone, exactly what did you do to get those 2 goals?
I think just keep the pressure on. I feel like most of the second half it felt like we spent in our attacking thirds. We really penned them in. Yeah, we thought if we just keep doing that, we're going to get at least one chance. And the first one probably is about half chance. I just managed to get a flick on it. And yeah, obviously delighted to see it go in. And the second one was a great move. I think when you're in the last minute of a game like that, it's easy maybe to just kick the ball forward and just hope for the best. But I think we played it up the pitch, and when Jedi gets wide, we know that he's got the quality to deliver. And yeah, for me, it was just about trying to find that space and get on the end of it again.
Given that Fulham threw everything at Brentford and had so many opportunities, dominated possession, created most of the chances, was there a feeling when you equalised we can get the winner?
Yeah, there was. I think I asked the referee how long was left. I think they made a sub straight after, and yeah, it was four minutes left, so we knew there was going to be one more chance. And I think Burns made a fantastic save at 1-1 towards the end that they could have won it, but we didn't stop believing, and yeah, we managed to get the win in the end.
Finally, pandemonium in the celebrations. Did you say someone slapped you?
Yeah, I think I got a big slap on the face. That's why my cheeks a bit red. But I thought the ref was a bit harsh, giving me a yellow. I think he's got to understand the circumstances there. Scored a last-minute winner in a derby game. So I thought he could have let me off for celebrating like that.
Well done, thank you.
Thank you, cheers.
He might have had a few more slaps as well, the way he won that game from his teammates. There was some adrenaline rush at the end, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, I mean, you know, when you score two late goals and to win the game like that, you know, emotions are, you know, riding high and you're just going with it. I mean, there was, loads of arms flying around everywhere. I think he even got one off his manager in the end. So I'm just delighted for him, really. He's deserved it. He's, you know, he's a great lad, professional, and took his chance today.
Yeah.
Very capable as well of scoring goals, isn't he? I mean, every time I see him line up a free kick or a shot from outside the box, he's got something special about him, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. I mean, technically, he's very gifted and a very intelligent player as well. But when he lines it up, the free kicks that he hits, and he gets that sort of wobble, sort of movement on the ball, and he can whip free kicks in, deliveries, you know, so high. So the quality on him. So you know, he's a real threat, and his all-around play really is at a high level. So you know, I'm surprised that he hasn't played more and featured more for Fulham this season, but definitely he's made a case for himself now after that to show how effective he can be in these games.
Well, we heard him say there, the manager said, get on, get in the pockets, get in the box. He came in after 82 minutes, and 10 minutes later, he made it 1-1 with a fantastic finish.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the two subs really combined well. Yeah, I think Traore gets the ball, Harry again moving into little areas, and that technique there is just, you know, is just through the roof. I mean, I know you are just sort of trying to hit it into an area or guide it into an area here, but he gets a spot on, and it's an unbelievable finish.
Yeah, I mean, he has to go into an area he doesn't really want to go into. I mean, he's so far ahead of the near post, but it's the only way you can get nip in front of the defender. Of course, the defender knows the areas he needs to defend. So he's tried to pull him back. You can see as soon as he jogs into the box, he's trying to draw the defender out of position. But last moment, he has to just nip in front of him. But he gets himself into a position where it's virtually impossible to score. But what a finish. I mean, people might look at it and think, oh, it's hit his shin, it's a bit lucky, it's a bit loopy and all the rest. It's the only finish you can get, to get in front of the defender and to guide it the way he's done. You know, you're trying to get a feel for the pace, for the angle, for the loop, for everything there as you're about to get your leg on it. I mean, it's just an incredible finish. Incredible finish. And I just love the way Times has run. Just as the ball's coming in, he's there meeting it just before. The defender still thinks he's going to clear it. He goes, puts his leg up to clear it. And that is the absolute perfect timing of the run, not to mention the finish. I mean, it was an outstanding goal.
There's a great shot of Mark Flecken there, actually, the goalkeeper, looking at it going, he can't believe it.
Can't do anything about it.
Talking to goalkeepers, Michael mentioned it. Both sides tried to win it then in the 4 remaining minutes. Bert Leno, at 1-1. How good was this?
Oh, it was amazing, amazing save at this stage in the game. You know, Fulham are obviously pushing for the winner, and then Brentford go at the other end, and it's a great bit of movement there as well from Cavallo, I think it was, wasn't it? And then it's an unbelievable save to keep his team, you know, in the game.
It's very similar to the run, isn't it, of Wilson? Look at him pulling, trying to get the defenders out of the way, get back to it so we can make that near post run.
It's so hard to defend them, though, when you come in on the blind side of the defender, isn't it? Obviously, you would know a lot about that, but to then time that run and to get in front of him, so hard to defend against, but it's an unbelievable save. And then, you know, obviously the defenders then last-ditch sort of challenges and getting it clear, so, you know, that wins them the game, really.
Yeah, because Thomas Frank couldn't believe that. But then he couldn't believe what he saw 96 seconds later.
Imagine the emotions. You think you're going to win 3 points, then you think, oh, I'll settle for 1, and then it's, oh no, I'm going to get 3 again. And then all of a sudden you end up with nothing. And again, it's a well-timed run. He doesn't get in there he doesn't get too excited, doesn't get too ahead of himself and make a run too early. I mean, possibly he is half a stride too early. That's why he's really got to arc his back and try to get his head on it. As it happens, he gets his shoulder on it, and it's a little bit spinny, a little bit lucky. That one is a little bit lucky. But, you know, the way he timed his run, no matter what part of his body that hit, it's amazing, isn't it? When things are going for you, no matter what it hits, it's just going to go in the back of the net. And it's an incredible feeling when that happens, when you're in such a good run of form, or you're feeling so confident about yourself. It just seems to go for you. And again, just a brilliant goal. And those scenes.
Is it possible to describe that adrenaline rush in a moment like that, with the last kick of the game when you've won it like that?
No, it really isn't. I've searched and searched and searched since I retired to find something that... Scoring a goal is one thing. It's a great feeling. Scoring a goal like that, when you've just scored, when you've just equalised, you're in the 95th, 96th minute, and you score the winner, and you know the reaction of the fans, the reaction of your players, you know your family, just everything about that feeling is just... There is no feeling in the world. Trust me, Steve. There is no feeling like that feeling. It's
you could bottle that feeling up.
If you could, and even now he'll be sat there in the dressing room, almost shaking with excitement. That'll last him. Sadly, he'll have to play another game in 3 days, 5 days, 6 days, or whatever. And it drains away. You almost wish that you don't have to play for about 3 or 4 weeks because you're walking on air for so long. But no, that feeling is just the best you can get in life.
And perhaps, as you say, in this situation where he hasn't played as much as he would have liked, and he had to wait until the 82nd minute today to come on and then do that, makes it even more special.
Yeah, of course, and he should, you know, enjoy every moment of that, because he has had to bide his time, you know, keep his head down, work hard, and that's a testament to his character as well, to still come on and then be ready, you know, in the 92nd minute, in the 97th minute, to time his runs to perfection in them and to really make an impact. You know, it's testament to his character, and, you know, we're you know, delighted to have him as a Welsh international, that's for sure.
I'm sure you are. And it was an important win for Fulham in the end. Not won in 3, and it suddenly nudged them up into the top 9 again.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I do like their team. I do like their manager. I like their style of play. Individually, you know, you look at the team sheet and you think, yeah, that. And they've got players off the bench. I mentioned at half-time they've got 1 or 2 that could change it. Harry Wilson being obviously one of them that's gone and done it. But I do like what's happening there at Fulham. They seem good at home. All the stats today, all the numbers after the game, during the game, pointed to a Fulham victory. They would have felt hard done by. Even if they had just grabbed the point, they would have been relieved that they've not got beat. But they really did play well today and deserved the win. Their shot count was, you know, way ahead of Brentford. Their possession, everything, all pointed to a Fulham win. So I thought they deserved it. I do like the way the club is moving forward. The stadium's getting bigger and bigger. The new stand is open. As I say, they've got a cracking manager. I think he's underrated as well. We talk about Thomas Frank getting linked with Manchester United. We didn't hear anything of Silva. I think Fulham chairman, Fulham fans will be delighted about that. They're just going under the radar.
Because when you talk to people in the game, they really highly rate him as a coach, Marco Silva.
Yeah, I think obviously they've got a real solid structure, foundation there within the team. They've recruited really well in the summer, bringing the likes of Emile Smith-Rowe, Reece Nelson, a couple of other players as well.
He played well, didn't he?
Yeah, he did really well tonight. I was pleased for him. That's his first start for Fulham, I think, in the league this year. So for him to have that sort of impact, especially in the first half when they were getting in that sort of left-hand channel, countless times. But even in the second half, he was still the one who was driving at them and trying to make things happen, really. So, yeah, I'm delighted for him. And, yeah, just like, I think that, quite sort of, they know exactly how the team sort of operates and what they're trying to do, getting into little pockets. Emile Smith-Rowe getting on the half turn, driving up players, and they're an exciting team, and especially tonight, they thoroughly deserved that win.
Yeah, and all that, Steve, losing probably their two best players in recent times, Palhinha to to Bayern, and obviously Mitrovic out to Saudi. Two real important teams that they built their team around. Really, they played a certain style to suit Mitrovic. So to almost rebuild and reshape and bring the players that Aaron's spoke about and to then mould them into a team straight away. It's not easy to do that, and I think the manager deserves an awful lot of credit.
Great night then for Fulham. Tough one to take for Brentford, who were so close to getting something on the board away from home. Here's the Bees boss, Thomas Frank.
Thomas, how tough was it to watch their comeback after so much resilience in defending, especially in the second half?
No, that's of course tough. I think it's emotional very tough right now. When you're leading in the 92nd or 3rd minute, 1-0, it will be tough just to have a draw, and then we lose it. I think overall, I don't think we hit our highest level. I think on the day, Fulham were better. But we, of course, when you lead 1-0, that's also the nature of the game. That long, there was a lot of resilience and a lot of good defending, a lot of effort, and all that. I thought actually should have given us win, actually, if I'm honest. And then there's unbelievable touch from Wilson that in 99 out of 100 never goes in goals from that angle. Did today. Then we could have won it with a chance to Fabio and very close margin, and then we lost it. So obviously that is brutal.
Before the match, we were talking about how Brentford is trying new things when trying more things when playing away from home. Why tonight wasn't very much the case of having more shots?
Yeah, good question. The honest answer, I don't know. It's probably always a combination between that we didn't hit the highest level and Fulham did well.
Well, that's one of the talking points. This is another one, though. It's not a league they want to be top of. 14 points already this season. They have dropped from winning positions. As you can see, that is the most in the Premier League. In fact, they've dropped more points in winning positions than points they've got. They've only got 13 on the board. They've dropped 14, and another 3 tonight. It's a slightly worrying, reoccurring theme for his side.
It is, and that is the problem, the reoccurring thing, because that's now planted in their head. They'll almost think to themselves, we need to be 2 goals ahead going into the 90th minute now, and that's a problem. Once you start conceding late, that fragility, and that can take a little bit of time to rebuild. So not a good position to be in. You don't want to be the top of that specific table. But Thomas Frank's still got a good team. They can score goals. They're very good at home. Their record away from home is really poor this season. He'll want to change that. But there's still a lot of positives, and I just think he's great
so honest.
He's honest. He gives praise where it's due, even if it's to the opposition. I like him. I think he's a class act. And I think Brentford are a solid team. There's no problems at all with them and their Premier League status. But obviously they're wanting more than that now. They're wanting to progress and be a top 10 team, let's say. And that graphic there, losing all those points, is not going to help that.
And he's talking about the away form there, but the away fixtures before tonight were very difficult with some of the places they've been to: Anfield, City, Old Trafford, Spurs. So they've got some so-called easier games to come away from home.
Yeah, I mean, they have been, tough away fixtures for them, if you like. But I really felt tonight was a good sort of, game for them to show that they are capable of going away from home and, putting in a really good performance. Wasn't quite to be. I think Fulham caused them plenty of problems and, thoroughly deserved the win. So I think that's what will be most disappointing tonight for them. But, like Michael said, I think, they're a great team. They're an established team. Thomas Frank is a really top coach, and so nice and humbling as well to see the way that he comes out after games and how honest he is. That that's a sort of breath of fresh air, really, if you like. And like to just see their home form then going into an away form as well. But the longer that goes on, it can play on players' minds, and it becomes more difficult to try and get that first away win, if you like.
Yeah, noose round your neck kind of thing, isn't it?
Absolutely, and especially when you're 1-0 up after 91, 92 minutes or something, then you think, oh, finally, we're going to get some points away from home. And the very worst, you think, oh, we're going to concede late and it's going to be a draw. But the Premier League just throws up games like that, doesn't it? It was just incredible finish. And you know what? As much as you feel for Thomas Frank, Fulham definitely deserved it. They were the better team on the night, and no one can begrudge them that. And it was just an amazing finish for the neutral.
And we seem so far this season to have seen an awful lot of late drama, of late goals getting a point or all 3 points, like we did tonight.
I mean, that's why, it's the best league in the world, isn't it? It throws up all of these sort of, magical moments, or, the emotional roller coaster that you go on in a Premier League game is quite like nothing else out there. So, yeah, I mean, it makes it exciting for us, for the viewers and things like that. So, yeah, hopefully there's a lot more to come.
You really do need to keep going to the end, though, don't you?
Yeah, let's have another look at it. You've got to go to the end. And at this stage, it was who's going to win it. I mean, there was no chance of either of them sitting back. Brentford could have won it, a minute or so earlier, and great save from Leno, but they went up the other end, and a little bit of luck off the shoulder of Harry Wilson.
I love how he held his run on that one. Obviously, the first one, he tried to get across the defender, but that one,
he knows he's in the right space.
He's in the right space. He knows that the Robinson's going to sort of try and hit a little dink back into an area, and then he's really attacked. I know he's come, off his shoulder in the end, but he's deserved it for his impact coming on.
Yeah. The manager's reaction. I mean, who'd be a manager in this roller coaster situation?
And both. You just think of the difference of emotions from both managers. I mean, that's euphoric. Whereas Thomas Frank must be head in hands. He probably won't sleep tonight, but he was a class act in the way he summed up the game.
It's our edition of The Final Word, as usual, on Monday. Michael and I are here, and we're delighted to be joined by our special guest, the former Arsenal midfielder Aaron Ramsey. Lots from Aaron to come, and a full review of the weekend in the Premier League, beginning with the Monday night football that was a West London derby at Craven Cottage. Brentford travelling less than 5 miles across the west of the capital to take on Fulham. Fulham, who have gone 3 games without a win going into this one. Brentford didn't have a single point away from home. And what a strike, Michael, against the run of play, really, from Brentford in the first half to give them the lead.
It was a brilliant strike. Little mistake, I'd say, from Basse. But Janelt was onto it. He pounced, he struck it 25, 30 yards out. Aaron, you would have been proud of that one.
Oh, yeah. With these sort of shots, they, as soon as they leave your foot, your boot, it's got a chance of going in.
A little bit like that.
Yeah. Pride of Wales, man.
I mean, I'm delighted for him. I mean, he's come on, he's made a real impact. The 2 subs combining well, The timing of his run to get into that near post is brilliant, and then to help that ball into an area, just requires so much sort of technique and intelligence, and execute it well.
So that was 1-1. Both teams could have won it. This was Fulham's opportunity to do so.
Yeah, I mean, virtually the last kick of the game, Stephen. It can only have been a couple of minutes to go at that point. What a huge save from Leno, and then obviously Fulham went down the other end. This is a well-timed run as well, but Leno was up to it, and the blocks throwing themselves in front, anything to try to protect that point. But it wasn't a point in the end, it was 3, and it was that man again, Harry Wilson, that times has run perfectly. It's a little bit different, this finish, a little bit luckier than the first one. I'm sure there was a shoulder in it, but when you looks in, you looks in.
Oh, yeah, he's timed his run, well. The first run in the first half, he's sort of gone across his near man. That one he's held off a little bit, and he's really attacked it then when that ball's hit into an area. And yeah, it's come off his shoulder, but you create your own luck sometimes, and I'm just absolutely delighted for him.
What a moment for Fulham and for Harry Wilson. We'll hear from both managers in a moment, but first of all, the man of the moment tonight at Craven Cottage.
Yeah, crazy ending. I actually thought we played pretty well in the game. To go in 1-0 down at half-time, I thought wasn't deserved. I think that their goal was a great strike. But yeah, at half-time we just said just keep playing, try and keep them in their half and take our chances when they come. But I think we did struggle maybe with that final ball. I thought they defended well, but yeah, when the manager put us on, he said try and make a difference, get yourself in that pocket. When the ball goes wide, get yourself in the box. And that's what I tried to do for both goals, and the deliveries in were great, and just managed to get on the end of both.
when you're leading in the 92nd or 3rd minute, 1-0, it will be tough just to have a draw, and then we lose it. I think overall, I don't think we hit our highest level. I think on the day, Fulham were better. But we, of course, when you lead 1-0, that's also the nature of the game. That long, there was a lot of resilience and a lot of good defending, a lot of effort, and all that. I thought actually should have given us win, actually, if I'm honest. And then there's unbelievable touch from Wilson that in 99 out of 100 never goes in goal from that angle. Did today. Then we could have won it with a chance to Fabio and very, very close margin, and then we lost it. So obviously that is brutal.
And I told the players half time, we have to keep pushing and pushing and pushing, because if you go in this way, will come for us. Come a little bit in the end, really, I believe. But I think what we showed, the shots, everything, we had much more from them, much more dominant as well, and we deserve clear the 3 points. The biggest difference for the games that we have been punishing at the end of the match was that games they were undeserved, because we were the better team on the pitch. Tonight we deserve clear to be rewarded in the end of the match, because the best team and the team that tried more to win the game was Fulham.
Well, they did keep pushing, and as we've shown you, the one hero who came off the substitutes bench in the 82nd minute, we heard him say the manager told him to go in the box and affect the game. Well, your international teammate certainly did that, didn't he? What an impact.
Yeah, I mean, I felt for him at times this season. I know how difficult it must have been for him. He hasn't had the game time that, he had last year. He's a quality player, and them 2 goals there just epitomise what he's all about, really. His intelligence, the technique that he has, the way that he attacks the space, the way that he realises who's around him and holding off a little bit for the second goal. I mean, that finish is just sublime. I mean, you are putting it into an area, but to have that sort of technique to do that, I mean, it's magical, really. And I'm just delighted for him that he's come on, and he's had to be patient at times this season, but to come on then and to have the impact like he did, he's really made his, his case to, have more sort of game time there and be challenging to try and start games there now.
Yeah, wonderful reaction from Marco Silva. And then we saw the captain, Tom Kearney, who's been between us on this show as a guest, having a little joke with him, Michael, saying, I think it was your shoulder, but quite frankly, who cares?
No, absolutely. There was definitely a little bit of luck about the second goal, but when you're such on a high, then you get that little bit of luck. I particularly loved that first goal. The timing of the run. You have to make it hard for yourself to nip in front of the defender. He knows where you want to go, so that you're almost playing cat and mouse, and he had to go a good few yards past that near post, made the finish even more difficult. But the deft touch was absolutely sublime, and then to round it off, icing on the cake with the second goal. I just think he's a lad that loves those moments, that is capable of those moments. He's got almost a big goal in him all the time, not only the technique but the mentality for it. So it didn't surprise me that he came off and he was the hero today.
Yeah, because we were saying earlier on, as you well know, he's scored 3 goals for your country before he's even scored for Fulham tonight.
Yeah, no, we all know what he's capable of doing in that Welsh shirt, and he's produced some moments of brilliance and a club level as well. His technique and the way his finishing in the drills after training and things like that, he very rarely misses. So give him that chance, give him that that half a yard or something like that. He's gonna the minimum probably is to work the goalkeeper, and tonight he's had 2 opportunities in a few minutes and he's put them both in the back of the net. So yeah, delighted for him.
First win in 4 for Fulham, nudges them into the top 9. Ticking along nicely for you?
Ticking along fine. Yeah, I like the team. A little bit of surgery has been made on the team in recent times, with a couple of big players, Palhinha and Mitrovic both leaving, and that can knock a team for 6. But this team seems to be resilient. They have brought in 1 or 2 players. They've hit the ground running. They've changed their style of play. They're not just crossing the ball all the time. Even though the 2 goals tonight came from crosses, but they're different types of crosses, little cutbacks and balls fizzed across as opposed to hitting the big man, so to speak. So they've had to change their style of play. But I do rate them. I do think they've got a good team. I do think they've got a good manager as well. They're a formidable team at home, and creeping into the top half, that's a good return.
Thomas Frank described that late goal as brutal. They've still not got a single point away from home, and they've also let more points from winning positions go than any other team so far this season.
Yeah, I mean, at home, is a different story for them. They've been, very successful in the beginning of the season. Away has been a different story. I know they played against some really big teams, difficult places to go. But I felt like this was a real opportunity for them tonight to go and sort of put that to bed and to put in a really good performance away from home. Wasn't to be. I mean, Fulham played really well and really deserved the 3 points tonight, and really impressive display from them. But there are some concerning, things that, the longer that this goes on without them, getting that away win, it can play on players' minds and things like that. And, tonight they must have thought, finally we've done it. Or then to go on and, concede late on, at least got a point out of it. But it wasn't meant to be. And, like I said, the longer that goes on, it can just play on your mind a little bit. So, I'm no question. They are a quality team, coached, unbelievably well, and they have a good structure in place. So I'm sure they'll be fine this year. But at the moment, they are just struggling to find that away win.